Welcome to sportsbookreview.com. I'm Gary.
And I'm Chris.
On today's show, we're talking about the top 10 teams and coaches against the spread in conference-only games. Seems like that could be kind of important for the 2020 season, right? So, if you like the show, make sure that you give us a thumbs up, a like, whatever you want to call it. Share the video out. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Let's go ahead and fire into this thing. Look, we've got our 10, but then we've got some other ones that had some kind of special circumstances. We're going to talk about those at the end of the video. But with that said, let's go ahead and start off going from 10 to 1. Number 10 on this list. Best coaches against the spread in conference competition only in college football. Iowa State, Matt Campbell, 16-10-1 against the number of the last 3 seasons, 61.5%. But it's kind of trending downward. Not good. Now, obviously, the books have caught up to him. 7-2 against the spread in 2017 against Big 12 competition. 6-3 the next year. Last year, 3-5-1. Not as undervalued anymore, I don't believe. Now, we love Matt Campbell, but that is something to pay attention to going forward. Obviously, incredibly respected head coach. We want to make sure that we're getting the right number on him going forward. So, number 9, moving to the Big Ten. We are fans of this man. Pat Fitzgerald, old Fitz over at Northwestern, 17-10-1 against Big Ten competition. Against the number, 63% winning percentage there. 16-12 straight up. 8-1 against the number in 2017. You remember that wonderful season?
Yep. And then last 2018.
2018 was not bad. 6-3-1. Now
went undefeated in their division.
Yeah. 2017 was the one where they went to. Nope. 2018.
No, it was 2018 when they went to the.
2017 was the really weird year.
Weird year.
Right. Okay.
2018 is the one where they went undefeated in their division, and they did really well in the conference still, 6-3-1.
Yeah. 6-3-1 against the spread, but, I mean, lost every non-conference game that they played, including to Akron. It was incredibly weird. But last season, 3-6 against the number in the Big Ten. I think that might have just been a blip.
We think they fixed that.
We
are biased. We love Northwestern.
Yes.
Very close to other Northwestern people.
Yes, we certainly are. Let's keep in the Big Ten. Obviously, he's been on every single list. Why would we take him off now? Jeff Brom and Purdue, 17-10.
Another really good coach.
Yeah,
in a smart kid school.
Oh, yeah. 63% winning percentage here, 12-15 straight up in the Big Ten, but incredibly undervalued. 5-4 against the number in 2017, 5-4 in 2018. Last year, 7-2 in Big Ten competition. Not bad. Number 7, it's your boy, Coach O. Ed Orgeron, LSU, 16-9, 64%. 64% would be profitable, I do believe.
Yes, sir.
Not too shabby. 20-5 straight up over that span. 6-2, 5-3, 5-4 against the number. That's profitable every season. Ain't no dips there.
The last 2 years, crossover games are against the 2 best teams that are both top 10 teams in the East.
Yes.
Still able to hold a high number.
I played Georgia 2 years straight.
Had to play Georgia and
Florida 2 years straight.
Play Florida every year. Had to play Georgia the last 2 years, and still able to maintain a pretty strong number against
most certainly
against spread.
This one is one that is not so known.
Yeah, I would have not guessed when putting this together.
Yes.
We'd have gotten here.
Chuck Martin in Miami of Ohio.
Never let Miami, Ohio, and Maction sneak up on you.
You got that right. And I don't think anybody in the MAC will anytime going forward. 16-9 against the spread in the MAC over the last 3 years. And let me tell you, 17-8 straight up. 17-8.
Trending in the right way.
Oh, yeah. 3-5 against the number in 2017, 7-1 in 2018, 6-3 last year,
yep.
and won the MAC last year.
Won the MAC, I'm about to say, yeah.
So we are moving in the right direction with Chuck Martin. I'm a big fan, but he's been there for a little bit. He's got quite a bit of experience coming back, some returning production and whatnot. Big fan. Number 5, maybe not as big a fan, but that's because, Alabama, LSU. If you're new to the show, by the way, make sure you hit subscribe. Just join in. It's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of chemistry here, a lot of fun with LSU and Alabama. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, that's not to say that we don't pay attention to the smaller conferences or the other Power 5 conferences. But either way, we are SEC boys, just the way it goes. Sorry if you're bothered by that, but we hope you stick around. Kirby Smart at number 5 with Georgia 18-10 against the spread in the SEC the last 3 seasons. Look, a lot of this was from that 2017 season. They are 22-6 straight up over the last 3 years. 7-3 against the number 2017, 6-3 in 2018, 5-4 in 2019. Kind of trending downward. Now, if they've got the right guy in Todd Monken, with that a new offensive coordinator, Jamie Newman, the new quarterback, or JT Daniels, whoever it is, if you get the offense fixed, you can go from 5-4 back up to 7-3, 8-2, whatever it is, right? Because you're going to be playing more than likely 9 at least SEC teams, and then if you get 2 in the playoff, like Georgia had to do, maybe. So it's odd to see a team playing 10 SEC teams in one season, but it happened. It most certainly did. Kyle Whittingham in Utah, 19-9. They are number 4 on the list. 19-9-1 against the spread in the Pac-12. That is not that crazy because nobody else plays like them out there.
Yeah, I was just about to say they play just a different style of football. There's a reason, if you've watched all the other videos up till now, you know that they have been on a lot of lists. We think they're incredibly undervalued by the books. I wonder if that's going to continue with them finally getting to the Pac-12 championship game last year.
I would say it will because they lost like 4 defensive linemen to
Well,
the
no,
NFL.
they lost a lot of talent. They're still going to play a completely different style of football than everybody else in the Pac-12, though.
And that is true. Don't forget they get Jake Bentley, former South Carolina quarterback, as a grad transfer.
Yeah.
Now, he may not even win the job, but either way, he's there. So, straight up, they were 17-12 over the last 3 years, 5-3-1 against the number in 2017 in the Pac-12, 6-4 in 2018. Last year, 8-2.
Yes, sir.
8-2, not too shabby. Finally, these are the 3 that have been at the top for most of the lists. But we like 2 out of 3.
That's okay.
So, Lance Leipold. Hopefully I said that correctly. Maybe it's Leipold. Not really sure. Watch a lot of action. Maybe not always have the volume turned up. But Buffalo's head coach. The Buffalo Bulls, 18-7 in the MAC.
Just incredible.
Yes, 72%. If you had just bet blindly on Buffalo in MAC games, you'd be a wealthy man. I will tell you that. So, 16-9 straight up, 18-7 against the number, 5-3 in 2017, 7-2 in 2018, 6-2 in 2019. That's trending in the right direction. Not too shabby. Bill Clark at number 2. Now, this is a man we have talked about glowingly on every show. UAB's head coach. You will not find a better character human being on the planet. Guarantee that. Anyway, Bill Clark, also a damn fine football coach, 18-7-1 against the spread, 72%. And that's after coming back from the dead.
Yes. This is a team that didn't have a football team.
This is zombie UAB.
Yeah. No. And he's just dominated that conference.
Zombie UAB is maybe my favorite thing ever. Like, you know that, what was Game of Thrones?
Okay.
So where the dragon comes back and he's like the ice dragon and whatnot. That's kind of what the Blazers are, right?
Okay.
So would
All
this
right.
be...
I do like to call them the Dragons.
Yeah.
I find that more, I guess, intimidating than the Blazers.
Yes, I think
When I think of a Blazer, I think of a
suit jacket.
yeah, an uncle who just wore
20-6 straight up over the last 3 seasons. 6-1-1 against the spread in 2017. Obviously undervalued that season greatly because, I mean, they were coming off of not having a team. So what would you expect? 2018, 7-2. Last year, 5-4. The number finally kind of started to catch up to him. I think it's going to catch up to him again this year. Now, they were really good last year. What was it, 9 wins last year?
Yeah, but they were a little bit of a rebuild last year, too. I mean, they lost a lot of talent from that 2018 season.
They have got
that 2018 season lost a ton. There's a reason this year they're one of the most experienced teams in college football.
Yeah, a ton of returning production.
Because last year they were super inexperienced and still didn't miss a beat.
No, they did not. They won a bunch of games. Now, they didn't win them as handily, but they did cover games. So 18-7-1 over the last 3 years. And finally, a guy that you would kind of expect to be at the top of this list. And the list, by the way, of course, conference games. against the spread. Dabo Swinney and Clemson, who play a group of cupcakes for their entire conference slate every single season. It is really rather frustrating. 19-7-1 against the spread. That's a 73%.
A great program.
Winning percent.
An
Yes.
elite program. And I know it's not their responsibility to recruit for their other teams. It's not their fault that Florida State has fallen into a cesspool. It's not their fault that Miami has just completely drifted off into the Pacific, Atlantic, whatever ocean they're in. The Gulf?
The Gulf.
I have no
Yeah, we'll
idea
call it
which
the
one
Gulf.
it is. I don't think they're in the Gulf. I think they're in the Atlantic.
Maybe.
I might be wrong.
Maybe.
Never a geography major. But I know it's not the Pacific. That was a mistake.
Either way, Virginia Tech has not been great under Fuente.
They have not, like all
et cetera,
of the
et cetera.
teams in their conference. Now, they are still elite. They would still probably beat those teams.
Yes.
Had those teams been relevant. It's just the fact that
But they might not have covered as much.
they just get cakewalk after cakewalk after cakewalk. It makes me disinterested in this program. And you have ESPN and all of the people who sell college football trying to sell me, this team is really good and fun, and I'm 5 minutes into a game and I'm watching something else because I'm watching a grown-up beat up on a child.
That's a good way of putting that.
I mean, I refer
That's
to
good.
it all the time, and I could go undefeated in fighting. I'm the least violent person that I know, and I'm pretty soft and not a very aggressive or angry person. But if I just beat up nothing but children, I could win almost all of them.
It's not really the same. I mean, there's a reason why if they had lost that North Carolina game last year, it was a strong possibility they may not have made the playoff.
I don't know that they should. Were they one of the best teams? Yes. Would they have deserved it? No.
Not,
Your
not at all.
resume just says no.
So with that said, against the spread the last 3 years,
In their conference,
In their
they're going to
conference.
dominate.
19-7-1, that's 73.1%, 26-1 straight up.
Blindly
The
bet
last
on
3
them
seasons.
and then watch them action because it's a whole lot more fun.
And it has trended this way because the conference has gotten worse over the last 3 years. They were 4-4-1.
We thought Fuente was going to be better.
Yes.
We thought surely Florida State just has too much talent. They won't continue to be the disaster.
Well, we
they've
thought
been.
Willie Taggart would fix what Jimbo did. He did not.
Yep.
And we thought that
Manny Diaz. I believed in Manny Diaz. I thought there were some up and coming teams in Boston College, Steve Adazio, Dino Babers. Like, can those teams get over that hump and be a relevant football team? And it just seems like they can't sustain it.
Yes.
They can't. Their one loss was that one Syracuse game against Dino Babers in Syracuse a couple years ago. That's it.
And that's when Kelly Bryant got hurt. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it is what it is. So, 2017, they were 4-4-1 against the spread. 2018, 7-2. 2019, 8-1 against the spread in the ACC. I mean, it just
And
continues.
they're going to. I think that's going to trend until one of
somebody
these
steps up.
coaches take over a program and step up.
Yes, you are correct there. So, let's move into, I guess we can call it the honorable mention. We're going to fly through these.
Go ahead.
But
I'll let you roll.
coaches that have new teams in 2020, but were really, really good against the spread in conference previously. Steve Adazio, when he was at Boston College, he is now with Colorado State. But at BC, 17-6-1 against the spread. That's 73.9. That is really, really damn good.
It really boggles my mind how he got fired. But,
It's
okay.
Well, I mean, some schools have higher expectations than maybe they should, but we'll leave that alone.
Yeah, my opinion is different than theirs.
Lane Kiffin at Florida Atlantic. He is now the Ole Miss head coach. Lane Kiffin, 18-8 in conference the last 3 seasons, and that is with having a 4-4 year in 2018. So, the bookend years, 2017, 2019, won the conference. It lights out. There's a reason he is coaching in the SEC now. Mike Norvell in Memphis. He is the new head coach with the Florida State Seminoles. 17-9-1 against the spread. That's 65.4% in conference. If he was playing anybody other than UCF, he was lights out. He was good to go. So we obviously, we're based in Memphis. Again, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. You hang around with us, you're going to learn a whole lot about who we are, where we live, what we do. We're basically going to tell you everything, and we'll be honest with you, so long as you're honest with us. Leave us some comments. Tell us what you think. So, coaches, no longer in college football. Matt Rule and Baylor, pretty damn good.
Yep.
Last 3 years in the Big 12, 18-10 against the number that's 64.3%.
Taking over the definition of a cesspool.
Yeah. Baylor was literally
as bad as a program could get.
Went 1-11 his first season, and his last season took him to the Big 12 title game. That's not bad.
So close to beating Oklahoma both those games.
Both times, yes. Jeff Tedford, Fresno State. He is now retired, 16-9-1 in the Mountain West. That's 64%. Another one of those you could just bet blindly every single week in conference, and you would be just fine. Teams that have two different head coaches over the span of the past 3 years. Temple. Obviously, we love betting on Temple.
I knew Temple. I follow them a lot.
Jeff Collins and Rod Carey over the last 3 years. Now, obviously, of course, Matt Rule was there before that. Left him set up pretty well. Jeff Collins now at Georgia Tech. Rod Carey came in from Northern Illinois. 16-8 in the AAC. Always undervalued.
Yes.
Always. I mean, it's a defensive
tough
team.
Football team.
Yes. They most certainly are. And there was no dip here. They are legitimately a winning record every season. 2017, 2018, 2019.
Yes, sir.
5-3, 6-2, 5-3. Now, this is one I'm sure you were surprised about.
Yeah, but I would have guessed and guessed and guessed on teams that never would have got to here.
Conference USA, Charlotte, Brad Lambert, and Will Healy. Now, obviously, I love Will Healy. You don't know a lot about him yet.
You're a big Healy fan. No,
Healy was at Austin Peay.
Yep.
Built that team up for Mark Hudspeth, who was recently fired, but we're not going to get into that because that's a whole nother mess. But Will Healy is an absolute shooting star. I'm telling you, this guy is through the moon, right? So, 15-9 against the spread over the last 3 years. For him, 62.5%. Not for him, for them. 10-14 straight up in conference. However, it was not Healy that got them to that number. Lambert, 6-2 against the spread in 2017 and 5-3 in 2018. They went 4-4 last year, and that is only because they started out at, I believe, 3-0.
Yes.
And they were scoring. I mean, they run this crazy spread option, and they put up points. I mean, they hit almost every over that they had last year. It was so much fun. They were putting up 40, 50, 60 points a game. It was stupid. But the number caught up to them. So just pay attention to that because this guy's going to win big at Charlotte, and then he's going to get another job very, very soon, I would almost guarantee. Last ones that we will hit on this evening. Teams with second-year head coaches. Now, obviously, before that, it was over a 3-year span. These guys have only been at their school for 2 years, but they have done so well, I wanted to make sure that I tossed them in. Sean Lewis at Kent State, obviously former Dino Babers guy.
Yep.
11-5 against the spread in the last 2 seasons. Now, he's only 6-10 in conference, but he's covered 11 of 16 games. 4-4 in his first year. Last year, they still never caught up to him. I made a lot of money off him last year.
Yeah, you did.
7-1 against the spread. They could never catch up to him. What's the kid's name? Denny Crumlin or what was his name? The quarterback. Either way.
I'm not going to remember that.
Either way, he is going to be lights out again this year. So pay attention to them as you go into that season. Dan Mullen in Florida, 10-6 against the spread in the SEC the last 2 seasons, 62.5%. 11-5 straight up. 4-4 in 2018, 6-2 in 2019, trending in the right direction. Obviously,
I think Florida's going to be a force to reckon with.
Oh, yes.
It is the reason why when you listen back to the other videos, I am more down on the trends of Kirby.
Yes.
It's strictly I think the East was putrid for a moment, and Kirby took advantage. It's great. He took advantage, and he's recruiting like gangbusters. That's unbelievable. I think the 2 coaches aren't recruiting like him, but I think they're far superior coaches than him.
Yes. I think I might agree with that.
It just won't be that easy.
No. Dan Mullen is a lights-out coach.
Yep.
Lights-out coach.
Dustin Crum.
Dustin Crum. That's
Dustin
it.
Crum.
That's it. Denny Crum was the former Louisville head coach in the Hall of Fame.
I got no idea who that is.
Old school basketball. All right. With that said, if you want to see more sports content, go visit sbrpicks.com or just click the links in the description to stay on top of all the content SBR has for you. For sportsbookreview.com, I'm Gary.
And I'm Chris.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the show.